This is crazy right here. Alright. That episode of the X-Files, man. It's season 1, episode 8. And it seems kind of like a knockoff of The Thing with Kurt Russell. But it's crazy because it's the theme of this, something we've been seeing lately. It's 28 days. It's Dead Before Dawn, Dawn of the Dead. It's the same zombie mall predictive programming. And you come to find out, like I made that prediction on zombie malls, like they keep showing people at malls, and come to find out the guy who founded Walmart is the guy who funded the internment camps that they threw the Japs and Germans in, which is pretty crazy connection there. But it's the zombie code. Like I made the video how it had zombie tech in San Andreas. And look, Walking Dead starts off, everyone's in a mall. It's kind of strange. And then come to find out, they'd be doing these drills in dead malls where they have like basically makeshift little processing FEMA camps, or maybe it's vaccination centers or microchipping centers, or there's something going on with these malls, man. But this zombie code thing is crazy because, all right, in this season 1, episode 8 on X-Files, they go to the Antarctic, and there's this parasite that gets in them that makes them aggressive, and they all start attacking each other, and they get all paranoid, which I just find this is crazy because this was in like 93 was when the show was out. So that's a long time ago that they kind of predicted this, what's going on now. And look, went from the first one to episode 8, and there's nothing but programming in this X-Files. It's crazy how much stuff is in there is legit. And I keep seeing the 33s, like constantly they be throwing it up in there, in the 13s, always in graveyards with obelisks in the shot. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in this that, you know, it's crazy to go back and watch it now. They also had orbs flying in. He was out at a secret base watching orbs flying around in the sky. And I've actually seen things like what he seen in this show. It's crazy, but it also has a zombie 28 days rage virus. And I just heard this Paul Bagley video, and it was talking about some dude getting naked, running around, attacking people again. And that's your textbook zombie. But, I mean, here's the thing. And if you watch, there's a Projected Energy documentary by Judy Woods. And it shows how people, when they were jumping out of the tower on the day that the towers went down, 9/11, they were stripping off their pants and taking off their clothes. And she was kind of like, man, why were they doing that? You know what I'm saying? It's like... that's not something a person who was trying to escape from a building would be doing. And it was like she kind of showed that it's possible that there was an electromagnetic frequency weapon that they were using that basically makes the metal, their clothes wouldn't burn, but the metal that like on their buttons and on their zipper would turn red hot, and on the buttons on their shirts. So they were trying to rip off their clothes because they were getting beamed. And those beams basically, anything that's metal burns, but other stuff won't burn that's not metal, because it's a strange process, man. That you know, it's weird, man. But it's basically like flames with no fire. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it could be like that, or like an earthquake in the air. You know what I'm saying? It's weird, but so in the X-Files episode 1 season 8, or season 1 episode 8, it's got a parasite that gets in these people that's causing them to have the zombie-like behavior, the aggressive zombie, 28 days type of zombie scenario. And in real life, I've seen there's a video. It's like 4 ways that a zombie apocalypse is scientifically possible. All right, you have this element where they got these bugs, these parasites that will get into rats, and they will go into the mind of the rat, and really this worm that's in this rat gets in its mind, and it really wants to get in the belly of a cat. So it affects the hormones and the chemicals of that rat's brain to influence its behavior, so that it acts it doesn't act with self-preservation. It just goes out basically and out in the open, and gets in walks all slow and docile and gets consumed by another being. And then it's trying to jump from species to species by it gets in the prey of the animal that it really wants to get into, which is kind of crazy. So they prove that it's possible through parasites. Parasites do things like that where they affect your behavior. So that's pretty tripatory. You know what I'm saying? And there's another thing. You got this condition called Morgellons, where there's fibers growing out of people's inside of someone's body, like the body is a bio harvesting mechanism of some kind of microscopic, very minuscule technology, man. That's operates through frequency. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of crazy. But they also said that there's something called a prion, which is kind of like it's like a crystal, it's like a quartz, it's like something different. And I think I heard that this Morgellons is prion like, or it's like a life form, and they just don't understand it because they've never seen it before, and it's kind of crazy. No one can prove it. There's a good documentary called Sophia Smallstrom, and I think it's called Morgellons and Chemtrails. You know what I'm saying? It's a documentary about an hour long. She breaks it down pretty good. But are these things? Is there nanotechnology? And is this really, they got something called programmable matter? Is the chemtrails programmable matter? Or is it something that is it spray food where they're spraying? It's almost like if you took a microchip and then you crushed it up into a little powder, and then you put it in a hairspray bottle and then you sprayed it on the food. You wouldn't even, you ground it up so thin that you wouldn't even taste it. All you taste is the food. Then when it gets in your body, these things activate and then start to reconstitute themselves from the inside. And then from your heat, from the acids in your stomach, these things can manipulate that environment, and it's became a new life form. Supposedly. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen them drooling over this technology, talking about it. Like the whole putting the microchip in the brain, making Artilex. I mean, it's up this alley. Or you got L.A. Marzulli, who finds these guys who say they get abducted, and they find these motorized RFID, or these little frequency emitting foreign bodies inside the body that they actually move. That's crazy. Is that alien? Is that the government posing as alien? I mean, that's something I'm seeing also in this X-Files. It seems like that's a theme. Like, it's almost like, man, it's crazy because it promotes certain agendas, but yet it reveals some real things. But then it still throws fictional spins out there, man. It's pretty crazy, man. So what I was doing is just looking for the symbolism, the predictive programming. It's all in there. You know what I'm saying? Just like everything else. Now I can go back, watch anything, and see some of these codes that they put up in there. It's crazy. Oh yeah, and back to the zombieisms. There's another element component to zombie. All right, let's say the spray food. Let's say spray dope. Let's say they give someone some dope. Same concept. Instead of making them eat it, they'll just do it themselves in some kind of drug. Once you're doing the real drug, but really it's spray food. It's a microchip busted up down into powder that they put it in the stuff, and they get it in you, and then it reconstitutes and starts to take you over from the inside out. I mean, basically. That's what some of these things could be, and maybe this is some of the stuff that's causing the zombies. It seems like there's definitely electromagnetic component to it. I mean, a lot of people want to throw it straight up into spiritual, and which to some extent that could be true. Because I mean, even with the drug, the pharmakia aspect, the Haitians and the South Americans get strange plant extracts, and they can powderize them, and then they'll walk up on someone and go, and then they'll pass out, they'll bury them, and then they'll come back with no will, and they basically make them work in the fields forever, or they're like their zombie slave. So I mean, that's a real custom that they do, whether it's superstition or not. I mean, the chemicals do exist, you know what I'm saying, that do zombify people. So that's another zombie element to this equation here. And, you know, it could be, I don't think it's viral, but I mean, could it be a parasitic organism, worm? Like maybe it's kind of like programmable matter, Morgellon, fiber optic, biofiber optic, mechanical life forms. You know what I'm saying? Or I mean, it's crazy because I don't buy the bath salt story, but you know, what I do hear in the street from people who did tell me that they have done bath salt, they do say it has funny effects, like it makes you have maybe hallucinations. But I mean, I only heard one person say that, so until I find a couple that have said it, you know, and can vouch or validate that, I still consider it's not bath salt. It's something deeper, more sinister. It's some kind of science experiment. I think even the Russians was working with zombification. You know what I'm saying? Like weaponized zombification. I mean, you got the Manchurian candidate aspect. That's almost like, listen, when you take over somebody's mind in a way, and they're your programmed slave. You know what I'm saying? That in a way that is zombie-like anyway too. Whether it's Jason Bourne or it's just a heavily indoctrinated, overly nationalistic, patriotic type, is just as programmed as Jason Bourne is. They just don't possess the same talents. You know what I'm saying? Or skills, whatever. But they're just as zombied out as a pure Manchurian hitter. You know what I'm saying? It's just a different level of zombied out, or indoctrination, or brainwashing, or mind control, or social engineering, propaganda techniques. It's like you know, like on 1984, the Ministry of Truth. You know, and what even makes the people more zombie-like right now. I mean, the technology has got us all. It's not like people. I mean, yeah, man. I mean, I guess people do walk into walls trying to use their phone as they're walking. So that in a way is kind of zombie-like, but it's like the fact that people don't realize the deepness and vastness of the zombie predictive programming and code word and how deep it is. I mean, like I said, zombie malls. It was in that game San Andreas Zombie Tech. You know, it was kind of like a hidden off subject thing. All the zombie mall movie situations. And it's definitely predictive programming. And it could, I mean, and then in this one, they're saying the alien life form technologies or the alien worms have taken over these people's minds. So these are going with the alien bio hacking, basically, mechanism. But it's the same, you know, it's along the same code of the zombie predictive programming, man. And this is even a little farther back. But you can see it. There's been a lot of naked zombies who've been running around doing crazy stuff. And I think that shit is electromagnetic weaponry. You know what I'm saying? That's what I personally think it is. But can't prove that. But I don't know. Time will tell if it is hopefully it's not a mass like the Gwen Towers are. Just imagine if it could zombie the whole neighborhood from those towers. You know what I mean? It's crazy. That's what the movies basically are saying.